No one saw this coming. Lil Durk just pulled off one of the boldest jailbreaks in hip-hop history. Against all odds, the Chicago rapper, known for his OTF loyalty and street ties, broke free from Miami's prison and made a slick exit from the country. Now, fans and critics are buzzing, with rumors flying about his next move and where he might be hiding out. If Durk really managed to dodge the feds and find a new hideout, it's about to be one of the wildest twists rap has seen in years. Stay tuned, because this story is only heating up. Escape from Miami. Lil Durk's escape plan was almost like something out of a movie. When his Only the Family crew members were arrested for a supposed murder-for-hire plot, Durk knew he had to act quickly. With federal agents likely closing in, he decided on an escape strategy meant to keep investigators guessing and buy himself enough time to slip away unnoticed. Instead of just booking one flight, he went for a more complex approach: multiple international tickets to create a confusing paper trail. According to sources, Durk didn't rely on just one flight for his escape. He made a series of moves to outsmart the agents tracking him. First, he booked 2 commercial flights, one to Dubai and another to Switzerland. Why these places? Dubai doesn't have an extradition treaty with the US, which would make it harder for agents to bring him back if he managed to get there. Switzerland, with its neutral stance, could have been a safe place to lay low. But here's the twist: he didn't actually plan to take either of those flights. They were a smokescreen, meant to throw off anyone following his trail, digitally or physically. The real plan, it turned out, lay in a private jet. This third ticket was for a private flight to Italy, where he might have hoped he could settle under less scrutiny. A private jet would allow him to avoid the usual checks and scrutiny that come with commercial flights, making it a far smoother escape option. Durk likely thought that by the time agents caught on to his Dubai or Switzerland flights, he'd be long gone, flying in comfort to Italy and out of the country's reach. But the FBI and federal agents were one step ahead. By tracking his multiple flight bookings and coordinating across airports, they caught on to his private jet plane. Just an hour before the plane was set to leave, agents swooped in, stopping Durk before he could board and leaving his escape plan grounded. He believed this was a calculated move to slip through federal oversight, but agents were well aware of his every move. The agency's work tracking him across various jurisdictions shows the level of coordination they committed to this case, likely monitoring his digital reservations and cross-referencing any travel plans in real time. Durk was banking on the idea that the commercial flights to Dubai and Switzerland would keep agents occupied while he made his real exit through a more discreet private jet. In the end, U.S. Marshals intercepted Durk before he could board that Italy-bound jet. They arrested him in Florida on Friday, October 25th, charging him with conspiracy related to allegedly planning a hit on fellow rapper Quando Rondo. As of now, Durk is being held without bail. He's facing serious conspiracy charges for allegedly setting up an operation that led to the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Saviah Robinson. If convicted, he could be looking at the maximum punishment that federal law allows: life in prison. For Durk, this outcome would mean trading the stage and his freedom for a federal prison cell. It's a stark shift for someone who spent years building his career and reputation, only to now face accusations that could strip it all away. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada didn't hold back in his official statement on the case. Estrada described the crime as cold-blooded. The crime didn't just impact the intended target. According to Estrada, it endangered innocent bystanders by happening in a public space, a gas station at a busy intersection. Estrada was clear about how the justice system views violent crimes like this, especially when they threaten entire communities, saying that they had zero tolerance for those who commit such callous acts of violence. Reports suggest that Durk's legal team is preparing for a strong defense, aiming to prove his innocence and refute the conspiracy charges. While Durk has expressed his intention to plead not guilty, it's clear he's facing a tough battle ahead. The legal process can be daunting in cases like this, where the federal government is involved and the charges carry such heavy penalties. Durk's potential life sentence looms over him, and it's not just about the time he could serve. It's about his legacy, career, and his future with his family. Facing life in prison would mean an end to everything Durk has built outside of music as well. For someone who came up through tough circumstances and made a name in the music world, these charges threaten to erase the progress he's made over the years. The feud that put Lil Durk and his crew, OTF, in hot water all started with a tragedy on November 6, 2020. On that night, King Von, Durk's close friend and OTF rapper, was shot outside a club in Atlanta. Reports say that an associate of Quando Rondo pulled the trigger, quickly turning the tension between Durk and Quando Rondo into an all-out brawl. And for Durk, this wasn't just about losing a friend, it felt deeply personal. After King Von's death, rumors started swirling that Durk wanted revenge. According to the authorities, he allegedly put a bounty on Quando's life in response. Fast forward nearly 2 years to August 19, 2022, and things took a deadly turn in Los Angeles. That night, multiple OTF members supposedly tracked and ambushed Quando and his crew at a gas station. They reportedly pulled up in 2 vehicles and fired over 18 shots at Quando's car, hitting and killing his cousin who was traveling with him. Now Durk, along with 4 other alleged co-conspirators, is facing some serious charges. The list includes murder, murder for hire, and conspiracy to commit murder for hire leading to death. Prosecutors claim the hit was financed with money connected to Durk and OTF, showing just how high stakes and organized this was. The plan itself, according to investigators, was like something out of a movie. 5 people were allegedly paid to fly from Chicago to LA just the day before the shooting. Durk supposedly warned the associate booking the flights to keep things low-key, saying, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." It's clear Durk didn't want anything traced back to him or OTF, but authorities say the trail led right to their door. The FBI had been building this case against Durk for years, and this latest incident was the final piece they needed to lock it down. They'd been so committed to uncovering the full story that they even planted an informant within his crew, someone who fed them all the crucial details. With this insider information, the FBI finally had everything they needed to make their move. Lil Durk went from having the biggest year of his career to facing what might be the toughest time of his life. Earlier this year in February, he reached new heights, winning his first Grammy and riding the success of his hit song All My Life with J. Cole on the Billboard Hot 100. But fast forward to now, and he's now sitting in a jail cell facing serious charges. One of the biggest storylines around his arrest involves rumors that someone close to him, an affiliate named OTF Jam, may have betrayed him. Rumors started circulating that OTF Jam, who's been a part of Durk's Only the Family crew, snitched on the rapper. Whack 100 and DJ Academics have even gone on record, claiming that Jam had been secretly gathering information for the police while staying close to Durk. Academics even revealed that he knew the feds were looking into the rapper for a while.
I get news told to me. They said, "I've been told that the feds have been looking into Lil Durk." But I remember this is before the O Block 6 thing happened.
Whack recently shared that he did 12 years, got out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, and gave him $50,000. He said that Durk had been loyal to Jam, but even though he had no smudge on his name and had never been a rat or caught a gun case, eventually OTF Jam flipped. Vlad revealed that he had allegedly been wearing a wire for the last 2 years. Chicago rapper King Yella also said that he'd heard from someone inside OTF that it was specifically OTF Jam who gave Durk up. In fact, multiple blogs and media sources report that Jam's name is in the indictment as a police informant. Then on October 30th, a video surfaced online, fueling the rumors even further. The footage allegedly shows OTF Jam with a wire around Lil Durk, capturing a moment in a dimly lit room where Durk, Jam, and a few others seem to be talking to another group over the phone. While most people in the room seem relaxed, Jam stands out, looking uncomfortable and out of place. The video has only intensified the talk that Jam may have been working with law enforcement and snitched on Durk. Adding another layer to this story, there are also rumors suggesting that Durk retaliated after discovering Jam's alleged betrayal. Some sources claim Durk had OTF Jam's child's mother killed as payback for Jam supposedly wearing a wire. Authorities had been building a case against him for over 2.5 years. If they managed to now convict him, the rapper could be looking at the end of his career. As part of the case the FBI eventually built against Lil Durk, they focused closely on past incidents where he was allegedly involved in violent activities. These incidents became crucial evidence, helping federal agents piece together a larger picture they believed would bring him down. In 2016, Lil Durk found himself facing serious legal trouble stemming from a raid on his apartment 2 years earlier. During the search, police discovered 2.45 caliber pistols while looking for a first-degree murder suspect. Since Durk was already on probation from a 2013 incident where he'd allegedly tossed a gun into his car as officers approached, this new discovery threatened to bring his career and personal life to a halt. The charges were heavy. Durk faced 12 counts of being a felon in possession of a firearm, a situation that could have had major consequences for him. Prosecutors claimed he'd violated his probation, which would mean severe repercussions. With so much on the line, Durk admitted he felt nervous, but he stayed firm in his belief that the truth would prevail. He had a strong ally in his lawyer, Sam Adam Jr., whom he praised publicly for his dedication to the case. In a key decision, the judge found that Durk hadn't technically violated his probation. Even if Durk knew the guns were in his residence, he hadn't had possession and control over them, which meant he wasn't legally responsible for the firearms in that context. Finally, in a huge win for Durk, the charges were officially dropped, giving him the green light to focus on his career and family. Relieved and grateful, Durk took to Instagram, thanking his lawyer and celebrating his freedom. He quickly returned to his music, releasing Lil Durk 2X and using his platform to support causes like the Black Lives Matter movement. But that wasn't the end of it. Durk's time under the FBI's watchful eye was far from over. He himself in court again in 2019 for a probable cause hearing, tied to a shooting incident that went down outside the Varsity in downtown Atlanta. The incident took place on February 5th, early in the morning, and, according to an Atlanta police detective, Durk was allegedly caught on video firing at a man while driving. During the hearing, the judge found probable cause to charge Durk and his co-defendant, Devontae Bennett, with multiple charges, including possession of a firearm and criminal intent to commit murder. Detectives testified that a witness reported seeing Banks and Bennett outside a cigar bar around 5 a.m. that morning, where a fight broke out in a nearby car. At that point, according to the detective, Banks allegedly pulled out a gun and shots were fired. The prosecution argued that the incident was gang-related, suggesting that Durk and Bennett, who have connections to Chicago gangs, targeted the victim because he was carrying $30,000 in cash, a flashy chain, and driving an expensive car. However, when questioned, the detective admitted he couldn't find solid evidence linking this particular event to gang activity. There was even some back and forth about who might have fired the first shot, with the victim, Alexander Weatherspoon, potentially being armed himself. In court, Durk's attorneys worked to cast doubt on whether he was actually involved in the shooting, questioning the detective's claim that Banks was seen firing a weapon. One of Durk's attorneys asked if they actually saw Banks shooting on the street at any time. The detective confirmed, saying that he didn't, referring to footage that allegedly showed Durk already inside a camouflage Jeep. When he surrendered to authorities in May 2019, he had confidently told a local news station that he had nothing to hide and nothing to run from, asserting his innocence from the start. The official motion to dismiss explained that the facts of the case had been reviewed, and although probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision at that time was not to prosecute. Ultimately, Lil Durk was cleared of all charges, a turn of events that caught many by surprise. But what Durk didn't know was that the FBI had been monitoring him for years, quietly building a case by tracking his activities and gathering evidence. This particular case became a piece of a much larger investigation that federal agents were constructing. In a strategic move, the charges against Durk were initially dropped, likely to give him a false sense of security, allowing the FBI to continue their surveillance in hopes of gathering even more incriminating evidence later on. With mounting evidence piling up, Lil Durk may soon have to face the music. Yet, could his gang connections be the key to slipping out of jail once more? Facing the music. Another lawsuit has been filed against Chicago rapper Lil Durk, accusing him of involvement in the 2020 murder of fellow rapper FBG Duck, whose real name was Carlton Weekly. This lawsuit brings to light the alleged power and influence of Durk's OTF crew, a group with deep roots in Chicago's drill rap scene and, reportedly, connections to gang culture. FBG Duck was killed in a daylight shooting in Chicago's upscale Gold Coast neighborhood as he waited to enter Dolce & Gabbana. A group of masked men ambushed him, taking his life and injuring his girlfriend Cashay Williams along with another man. Weekly's mother, Lashina Weekly, and others affected by the loss, recently filed a lawsuit claiming that Lil Durk had a role in orchestrating this attack, allegedly putting a $100,000 bounty on Duck's head. Their attorney, Roosevelt Allen, alleges that this bounty was part of a gang-related effort to silence Weekly after a violent, years-long rivalry between the two rappers. This rivalry had played out through drill music, where FBG Duck and OTF members, including Durk, had traded intense and often violent lyrics. Drill rap has been criticized for its brutal storytelling and its connections to street violence in Chicago. In this case, the courts claimed that OTF and the major record labels supporting them, like Sony and UMG Interscope, profited from this authenticity while overlooking the deadly consequences. These labels often incentivize this criminal behavior and put profit over human life, even when it crosses the line between entertainment and real-life violence. This lawsuit names not only Durk, but also OTF and their major label partners, alleging they all played a role in promoting an environment that led to FBG Duck's murder. For many, this lawsuit is another reminder of the intersection between Chicago's drill scene and street violence, with OTF at the center. Under Lil Durk's leadership, Only the Family has developed a reputation not only as a successful music collective, but as a powerful force deeply tied to Chicago's street violence. OTF, which Durk founded and leads, goes beyond just a record label. It's a tight-knit group with an allegiance that's rooted in the streets. Durk's influence over OTF stretches beyond music. As CEO, he's cultivated a strong family-first mentality that reflects his loyalty to those within the group. His authority within OTF has led some to see him as not just an artist, but as a leader whose decisions and orders hold weight well beyond the music scene. While Durk is respected as a rapper, his involvement in OTF has positioned him as a central figure in Chicago's drill scene, where music and street life are closely intertwined. Allegations of violence and gang activity are a constant part of OTF's image under Durk's leadership. Many of OTF's conflicts and rivalries have spilled out into the public eye, with deadly consequences. For example, Durk's cousin and OTF member MacArthur Swindle, also known as Nusky, was shot in 2014 in what is widely believed to be a gang-related attack. The killing of Nusky, who was sitting in his SUV outside a Chicago mall, exemplifies the dangers surrounding OTF members and demonstrates the level of violence that seems to follow the group. Durk himself has faced numerous legal challenges, including weapons charges and other accusations of violent behavior. The FBI and other law enforcement agencies have closely monitored OTF, building cases that link Durk and his crew to several violent incidents. For many, OTF's violent history under Durk's leadership raises questions about the line between music and reality. Drill music is known for its raw portrayal of street life, but Durk's leadership of OTF has arguably blurred these boundaries even further, as allegations of violence, hit orders, and gang affiliations continue to surface. The perception of OTF as a collective driven by street loyalty and violence only grows stronger. Durk's influence over OTF has shaped it into a group where loyalty is paramount, and for those within the organization, crossing him or betraying the crew could come with serious consequences. As federal agencies and lawsuits bring more attention to OTF's alleged criminal activities, it's clear that the group's power and influence have gone beyond music. The structure of Lil Durk's crew reflects the close-knit, loyalty-focused environment he built around his music career, but it also branches out into affiliations with other well-known groups in Chicago's street scene. OTF started as a rap collective, born from the friendships and alliances Durk had within his neighborhood before he rose to fame. As Durk explained, OTF stands for Only the Family, a name chosen to signify the strong loyalty and camaraderie among its members.
So what's OTF?
OTF is on Only the Family.
Okay, what does it consist of?
It was just a lot of us just hang out, basically, for real.
Originally, it was simply a group of friends, but as they began taking their music careers more seriously, OTF officially became a rap collective. Although OTF itself is a music-oriented crew, it's deeply connected to other powerful groups, especially Glory Boys Entertainment and the broader 300 Block community. GBE, founded by Chief Keef and his cousin Fredo Santana, also started as a rap group, but shares connections with the Black Disciples street gang, just like OTF. GBE members include prominent names in Chicago's drill scene, such as Lil Reese, South Dakota, and Tadu, with whom Durk and OTF have collaborated and maintained strong ties. The 300 Inches identity itself doesn't refer to a specific rap group, but instead represents a broader community of affiliated blocks within the Black Disciples territory. This includes the infamous 300 Block area, which encompasses neighborhoods like Lamron, 64th Street, and Parkway Gardens, also known as O Block. These areas are known strongholds for the Black Disciples, a gang deeply embedded in Chicago's history and landscape. While 300 represents the area and its residents as a whole, it serves as a unifying identity that many in OTF and GBE align with due to their shared upbringing in these neighborhoods. So while OTF is technically a rap collective founded by Lil Durk, its structure is strongly intertwined with both GBE and the 300 community. These connections have allowed them to grow its influence within Chicago and the broader drill scene. Many of OTF's members are linked to the Black Disciples, one of Chicago's most notorious gangs, and their association has fueled the collective's reputation for violence. The Black Disciples are a long-standing and infamous street gang based in Chicago, with roots going back to the mid-1960s. Formed in Chicago's South Side, the gang initially developed as a means of unity and protection in the city's rough neighborhoods. Over time, however, the Black Disciples evolved into a powerful gang involved in a range of criminal activities, including drug peddling, extortion, and crime. The gang has also made its mark on Chicago's music scene, particularly through the rise of drill rap. Black Disciples members are often identified by certain symbols and colors that signify loyalty and gang identity. Symbols like the six-pointed star or a pitchfork reflect their allegiance to King David Barksdale, the founder of the gang. In recent years, law enforcement agencies have been intensifying their efforts to dismantle the Black Disciples, aiming to curb crime rates in urban areas. However, despite this pressure, the Black Disciples remain active and continue to exert their influence across Chicago's south and west sides. Lil Durk has long been associated with the Black Disciples. Raised in Inglewood, one of Chicago's toughest neighborhoods, Durk grew up surrounded by gang activity. He reportedly joined the Black Disciples in 2009, around the same time he began pursuing music seriously. As a teenager, Durk became a father, which he said motivated him to take his career more seriously. He was attending Paul Robeson High School, but ultimately decided to drop out and fully immerse himself in both music and the gang lifestyle, joining the Black Disciples soon after. His affiliation with the gang has had significant impacts on his life and career, leading to several encounters with law enforcement. In October 2011, Durk was arrested for possessing a firearm with a defaced serial number, serving time and later later pleading guilty to the charge. Durk's connections to the Black Disciples go beyond just friendship or music partnerships. They are woven into his personal story. His close ties to other Disciples members like King Von have influenced both his music and his life. As Durk awaits trial, his relationship with the Black Disciples remains a focal point in his legal troubles. The rapper's history of violence has put him on a path that may be impossible to escape, casting a dark shadow over everything he's built. His ties to gang conflicts and legal issues have continued to follow him, threatening his freedom and career. His hard-won success as an artist, his role as a father, and his influence in his community are all at risk. Each new arrest and lawsuit makes it harder for him to break away from his past and the dangers that come with it. Now, Durk faces a choice: leave behind the violence and redefine his legacy, or continue down a path that could end his career for good. His future is at a crossroads, and unless he can change course, everything he's worked for may slip away. Career impact. These murder-for-hire charges don't just put Lil Durk's freedom at risk, they could also dismantle his entire career. Known for blending his street image with mainstream success, Durk now faces a critical blow to his reputation. Just a week before his arrest, a suburb outside Chicago had awarded him a key to the city, an honor that was swiftly revoked as news of the charges emerged. This rapid change highlights the instability his career now faces. For years, Durk has built a name as both a rapper and a community leader, especially through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. But now, these charges cast a shadow over that image, with the village of Broadview pulling back their honor, citing the importance of moral standards. Fans who've seen him as an artist and community figure are left wondering if he can clear his name, or if this will permanently tarnish his legacy. As his legal team gears up for trial, they face an uphill battle against federal claims suggesting OTF operates as a criminal organization. With mounting evidence, defending Durk won't be simple. These legal battles are certain to reshape his life and career, making this a defining moment that fans and the entire music industry are watching closely. The stakes couldn't be higher. A conviction would likely have devastating effects on Durk's career, potentially pushing away sponsors, collaborators, and fans. Even his philanthropic efforts might be overshadowed by the charges. The village of Broadview's quick retraction of his honor already shows the immediate hit to his public image, underscoring just how serious his position has become. The rapper's mugshot has taken the internet by storm, spreading across social media platforms like wildfire. Since his recent arrest, the image has gone viral on platforms like X, drawing a flood of reactions from fans, critics, and everyone in between. The timing of the arrest and mugshot release has only intensified the conversation, as just a week prior, Durk was honored with the key to the Chicago suburb of Broadview by Mayor Katrina Thompson and Bellwood Mayor Andre Harvey. For many, it was a moment celebrating his success and impact in the community, but now that honor feels like it was quickly overshadowed by the news of his charges. The internet's reaction has been anything but one-sided. On one hand, fans have come out in full force, voicing support for Durk and demanding his release. Tweets and posts from loyal supporters argue that he's being unfairly targeted, and they're rallying under hashtags calling for justice. For fans, he's not just another rapper. They see him as a figure who's beaten the odds, a leader for Chicago's youth, and someone who gives back through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. His community work has earned him respect, and his fans are making sure that support is felt online. The viral spread of his mugshot has sparked endless debates, with people chiming in from all perspectives. As his legal team prepares for what's likely to be a drawn-out trial, Durk's supporters are digging in, while critics remain skeptical. His fans continue to flood social media with calls for his release, reminding everyone of his contributions to the community and his journey from the streets of Chicago to international stardom. Artists like DJ Academics have weighed in on Durk's arrest, with Academics predicting that bail may be out of reach for the rapper due to the overwhelming evidence stacked against him. Even 50 Cent discussed Lil Durk's recent arrest. The rapper revealed that he had previously warned Durk about the people he surrounds himself with. Durk, along with members of his OTF crew, was recently arrested on murder-for-hire charges, and 50's comments quickly went viral, sparking a wave of reactions. In the clip, 50 Cent recounted his conversation with Lil Durk, explaining that he had tried to warn the rapper about the people around him. He shared that during their time in New York while working together, he had noticed Durk's entourage. 50 Cent described telling Durk to watch his back and stay clear of the gang stuff.
Like, I was like, yo, this is them right there. It's a real right? He was like, yeah. And I said, yo, just watch him.
50 Cent then warned him, advising him to just watch his group, adding that Durk needed to be cautious of those around him. Fans and industry insiders reacted strongly, with many echoing 50's advice. Some fans wished that newer rappers would heed the guidance of industry veterans, who've seen the consequences of bad decisions up close. One ex-user commented saying that 50 Cent is the only person in the industry you can trust. The arrest of Durk, alongside OTF members Kayvon London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Asa Houston, Keith Jones, and David Bryan Lynch, Lindsay has intensified discussions about the influence of entourages and street ties on rappers' careers. Many internet users pointed out that a person's crew can be their downfall, with comments like, "The crew are always the ones to put you down," and that he should have listened to 50. Fans and observers alike seem to agree that 50 Cent's advice was invaluable, with reactions ranging from admiration to disappointment over Durk's choices. As one platform user put it, 50 Cent always keeps it real. Durk should have listened. 50's warning is now being viewed as solid advice that could have saved Durk from his current legal troubles. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the videos on your screen to dive into more content from our channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more.